He has risen, baby girl!
Hello, Sword Boy. Problem with it is here to give you a much-needed tutorial on sharpening a pencil. No, not like that. We're moving on to bigger and better things here. You might be thinking, problem, why should I change my ways? Surely a pencil sharpener will work just fine for my hours-long pixel art streams. Why should I listen to you? Because I have an art degree. That's why. So, what do we need to start? 1. A pencil. So far, so good. 2. An X-Acto knife. That one's too big, that one's too scary, that one's too weird. Bam! X-Acto knife. It's cheap, has replaceable blades, and is just the right size. 3. Hydration. You know what's up. Finally, paper. Any kind will do. Let's go. Here we have two 4B pencils. Same softness, same color. On the left, we have one that was sharpened with a sharpener. The right, one that was properly done. Properly. You can see initially the left shows promise. Freshly sharpened, it can make some nice circles. It doesn't look all that bad. You can get some thin and clean lines right out the gate. It seems fairly unremarkable, all things considered. This is a pencil. The shading is a bit patchy, but it gets the job done. It can still make a silly face after all. Now to the right. While it doesn't seem that impressive initially, the magic of proper pencil sharpening will soon show itself in full. You can already see a difference in the sharpness of the lines and how the pencil shades. The area and density of color is far different from the left. Even after shading, it's still sharp enough to make a silly face on the page. So crisp. So silly. For your benefit, I've made a square. The square can be filled in with precision, and the shading is uniform. Using different sides of the pencil allows for a thicker line for more area coverage, or a thinner line for edges, such as a nice square. Returning to the left, you can see there's a less forgiveness and accuracy when filling in the square. Using a rounded edge to fill a square area is usually going to be less accurate than putting a square in the square hole. After this use, you can see that the lines made by the pencil sharpened by the sharpener is less precise and thin than in the beginning, while the hand-sharpened one still retains its clean look. Demonstrations out of the way, let's look at how you can sharpen your pencil with ease to maximize its potential. First things first, let's use the right kind of pencil. This should not be done on a mechanical pencil. That's a no-no. Something that's super soft like this 8B is a lot more delicate, and it'll break if you aren't gentle with it, so just keep that in mind. The kind of pencil you'll be using shouldn't give you these issues. However, having a new X-Acto blade that is actually, properly tightened and installed will give you the best bet at succeeding with this technique. Looking at the pencils up close, you can see a big difference in pencil tips. While the pencil done with a sharpener may look pleasing to the eye, you can see the limitations that it has when it comes to solid and even coloring. The surface is rounded, which doesn't allow for even application of color. The way it wears down means you'll have to sharpen it more to keep the lines crisp, and you end up shaving away a lot of the pigment that you paid for. And if you get expensive pencils, that's a lot of money, really fast. The ugly duckling that you can create, on the other hand, has a far more square point. By rotating which side of the pencil you use, you can keep it constantly sharp without having to sharpen it all the time. Going on the smaller side, you get precision, and going with the flat edge will make it easier to fill in your squares without scribbling. Sharpening by hand gives you the opportunity to make a wide variety of shapes for whatever coloring needs you have. You can make a thick and round point for large areas. You can make a more circular and exposed point for light shading. You can craft a sharp point for thin line work and details. To prove relevance, I have a colored pencil sharpened this way as well. This has a thicker core, but it still sharpens like a dream. Now that you know the best way to sharpen a pencil, let's talk about the tools. You don't have to buy the most expensive pencils in the world to make awesome art. You've already proved that with your mad skills. However, if you want to upgrade your stuff, here are some good options. Other things that are fun to use are plastic erasers to minimize the amount of debris on your desk when erasing things. It's just a good investment. If you're going to invest in better colored pencils, it's always a good idea to sharpen by hand to minimize the amount of color that goes into trash. If you do it right, and take care of them, they'll last you a long time and perform better than anything you could have ever imagined. All in all, it doesn't matter what pencils or paper you use. What matters is that you're having fun. And also sharpening your pencils the right way.